secret? I just love him. Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jacklenn and I'm very glad to have you here with me. In today's video, we are just going to be doing a mood reading vlog, as you would have seen from the title. I just thought that I would do a mood reading vlog of books that I pick up throughout the week. And I have a few books on my November TBR that I would like to get to, but as I say, it is a mood reading vlog, so I don't know if I will actually pick those books up. It just depends on the day, on the time, where the moon is sitting in regards to the earth, how much gravity pull there is. It just really all depends on what's going on and what I feel like reading. I really just don't force myself to read something that I don't want to read unless it's book club book. I always read book club book each month. We'll see what we get up to start off with. Last night I did pick up Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. This is the second prequel, so this is Hamish's story. You have the first trilogy of the Hunger Games, then you have the first prequel, which is President Snow's story, and then the second is Hamish's story. I started it last night. I am currently on page 29 and I'm so excited. I finished The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes maybe 2 days ago. As soon as I finished it, I put the movie on and watched the movie and then instantly picked this up. I am obsessed. I didn't read The Hunger Games as a kid and I picked it up for the first time earlier this year. I read the trilogy pretty much in succession with small breaks in between because I was just loving it so much. Finished The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes and picked this up straight away. So I did start it last night on page 29 and it is starting off with a bang. The way that he got picked. Oh, I don't want to give any spoilers if you haven't read The Hunger Games, but I highly recommend. I'm so obsessed. I really want to get special editions. I'd love to get some Hunger Games merch or something. I'm like geeking out over The Hunger Games. I really am. I'm excited to see where it goes and excited to see how it all comes together. You do get snippets of Hamish's story within the original trilogy of the Hunger Games, and they kind of tell you what he goes through, but I'm excited for this to be in a lot more detail. I've heard from a couple of people that it is quite emotional and maybe will make me cry, and Hamish, if you didn't know, is like one of my all-time favorite characters ever. I love him. I love his character. I just am obsessed. I'm obsessed. I fully read the trilogy and Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes so that I could read this. I was just interested in reading this, but have enjoyed the journey of all 4 books before this so much. That is what we are starting this mood reading vlog off with, Sunrise on the Reaping. I am also currently listening to the audiobook of Masters of Death. I do have the physical book, but it's on the other side of the house and I'm way too lazy to go over there and get it, so I'll just pop a little picture up of it. I'm currently listening to that on audio and I don't know if audio was the best choice for me for listening to it. I'm about halfway through and honestly I'm very confused. It's kind of like cozy fantasy. It's set in modern day, but it has fantasy elements, like there's vampires and demons, angels, all these different creatures, magical beings. There's Death himself. There's a lot going on, but it's about a real estate agent. She's trying to sell a house. There's a ghost inside the house. She's trying to get rid of the ghost. And then a whole bunch of stuff is going on in the background to try and figure out why this ghost passed away, what happened to him, how to get rid of him, and what they can do to solve this problem that they are dealing with. And it has a lot to do with death. It is interesting. It's kind of Shakespearean. It's kind of set out like a play. It's got interludes. It's not high fantasy in terms of like wars and fights and politics and world development. It's not like that. It's just modern day stuff with all these fantasy beings and creatures and stuff within the story. So it's kind of giving like cozy fantasy vibes, which is not my favorite. I'm not a cozy fantasy reader, but I'm intrigued to see how it ends. I'm intrigued to see how it all comes together. I'm a bit hit and miss with Olivia Blake. I read One for Your Enemy by her and really loved that story. It's a Romeo and Juliet retelling and I really loved that one. But I also read, sorry about that, my card was full so I had to switch cards. I've completely forgotten where I was and what I was saying, but something about, I was saying that Olivia Blake is a little bit hit and miss for me. I read One for My Enemy and really enjoyed it. And then I also read the Atlas 6. Truly, struggled so hard to get through it. I was reading that book for months. I just couldn't get into it. I don't know what it was. Finally finished it and I was like, I'm not continuing that series. I just couldn't get into it. And it wasn't because it lacked anything. I think the writing was good. I think the storyline was good. It was kind of confusing and had a lot going on, had a lot to it. But yeah, I just could not connect to the story at all. So I haven't continued that series. So I'll see how this one goes and we'll see what else we can fit in this mood reading vlog. I'm hoping to get through this and read another book. So we'll see what that one is, but hopes are high. We're heading towards the back end of the year. It is currently the 11th of November, so I'm excited to get some more books in before the end of the year and see how many books I can read this year. I think I'm currently sitting at around 72 books and my goal is 80 for the year, so I've got a little bit of time up my sleeve to get those 80 books done. I have just gotten up and gotten ready and we are going to breakfast with my grandparents this morning and then we will see what we get up to for the rest of the day. And I will check in with you guys later. I'm on chapter 7 and I'm on page 92 and I have to say I'm pretty obsessed. I am pretty obsessed. I just love Hamish so much. I love him. There was this scene just now where he started crying. He broke down and started crying for reasons that I am not going to disclose because that would be a spoiler, but he broke down and started crying. Oh my god, I just love him. I just want to give him a big hug. If I'm already feeling this way, I can't imagine how I'm going to be feeling by the end of this, but I feel like my heart is going to be broken. I just love him. Time for a bit of a reading update. I have my books here. I ended up finishing listening to the audiobook of Masters of Death. This just wasn't for me. I ended up rating this 2 stars. I don't know, I just didn't connect with it. I really don't enjoy cozy fantasy. I'm not a cozy fantasy reader. And I don't know if I would label this cozy fantasy. It's not like your typical fantasy where you're in an ancient world or a completely different universe and there's politics and war and fighting. It's not like that. It's set in the real world and set in modern day. It follows a vampire who is a real estate agent, and if she is trying to sell a house that actually has a ghost haunting it. So she has to try and sell this house. This ghost is haunting it. He was actually murdered. I don't know if you can say that. In this house, and so he's haunting the house, and from there it kind of develops that she is trying to figure out what happened to him so that he can move on with his life and move on into heaven or hell or the other side, wherever ghosts go. She ends up meeting a guy who is the godson of death, as in death himself is a being, a person. So he can talk to mythical beings, he can talk to ghosts, he can talk to creatures that are not from the modern day world, not from real life. He goes with the vampire and tries to help her figure out what happened to this guy in the house, to this ghost. There is a lot of intricacies in this. It has a lot to do with life, death, truly living, what matters. It has a lot of messaging, how it's all kind of this game that you're in. They end up actually playing a game. That's how the world is set up with the mythical beings. They play this game where it's impossible to win, but you can't lose, otherwise you lose something from yourself, or something like you have to give away secrets or something like that. So they end up playing this game to figure out what happened to this ghost. It all comes together at the end. It all makes sense, but I just really didn't connect to the story because it felt very cozy fantasy to me. It didn't feel like a high stakes fantasy, and I understand that I was trying to get the messaging across of life and death and how it's inevitable, and if you're immortal, life lacks meaning because you don't have just one life, you get to live forever. So I understand that part of it, but just wasn't for me. 2 stars for Masters of Death. Then from there, I'm still reading Sunrise on the Reaping, but I am on page 308. I only have about 70 pages left of this, and I have been literally devouring this. I have not read a book this quickly in months and months and months. Yesterday, honestly, any spare second that I had, I was sitting down and reading this book. I am just addicted to this world and these characters. I absolutely love it. I'm loving the story. I don't want to really tell the story because I don't want to give any spoilers away if you haven't actually read The Hunger Games, but this is so good and so addictive. I love the characters in this. There's one character who's like a little bit sassy and I absolutely adore her. She's fantastic. The game setup is awesome. I am intrigued to see how it's all going to end. I'm getting super emotional about it, and yeah, 70 pages to go. It's really ramping up. I'm just getting to like the main climax of this story. I'm ready for it to all fall apart. I'm really scared actually. Hopefully we'll finish it today. That is my little reading update for you. I'm not sure what book I'm gonna dive into next. This is my November TBR. My November TBR. I have Intermezzo, Bare Bones in the Midnight Soil, and Fairytale. And honestly, I don't feel like reading any of these. I really don't. So I'm not 100% sure what book I'm going to pick. I feel like this is going to bury me and put me in a reading slump. We'll just have to see how we feel after we finish this. finished Sunrise on the Reaping last night, as you would have seen. Absolutely destroyed me. I will never stop thinking about this book, possibly ever. I just love Hamish so much. I love him. I'm obsessed with him. I just want to look after him. I'm heartbroken for him. And oh my god, that ending. Suzanne Collins did me dirty on that ending. I was not prepared. I mean, I knew it was coming. I didn't know what was coming. I knew something was coming. And it just hit me like a truck. At one point I was like, no, I can't read it. I just had to stop. I couldn't read the words. And I knew what was happening, but I just couldn't. Oh my god. I'm still not over it. If you couldn't half tell, this is 5 stars. This is like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stars. Can I rate it 10 stars? That's what I'm giving it, 10 stars. It's flawless. I have no words. I feel like I'm still processing. I'm still so sad, and I kind of just want to read it again. I feel like I'm going into a reading slump now. That's not great. But it's great when such a good book puts you in a reading slump and you haven't just like fallen into one. You've actually enjoyed a book so much that nothing else lives up to the hype. I feel like that's where I'm at right now. I actually don't even know what I think about this. Like, my thoughts are it's immaculate, it's flawless, it's perfect. I loved every second of it. I devoured it. I haven't read a book this fast in months, literally so long. I've been DNFing books. I just haven't been enjoying it, and then picked this up. I picked this up straight after finishing The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, so that just tells you how good Suzanne Collins' books are and how obsessed with the Hunger Games series I am. I just read it consecutively over the last couple of months. I really haven't put the books down or given myself a break from these books because I'm obsessed. And now I want the movie to come out. I think it comes out like the end of next year, which is so far away. Maybe I should have put this off. Yeah, I just am obsessed. I'm obsessed. I'm like thinking about getting merch. I'm gonna put it down. We need to move on. Update of what I am reading next, what I decided to pick up. I am reading on my Kindle because last night when it was like 9:30 and I was going to bed, I always read before bed and I didn't know what I wanted to pick up, so I went through my Kindle and I downloaded Fear the Flames. I was going to say Fear of the Flames, but Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling. I thought this one would be good because it's a fantasy. It has dragons in it. I love dragons. I think it's around like 380 pages. I didn't want something that was huge because all the fantasy books that I have on my TBR are like 600-700 pages, and I just was not feeling that. And I actually have no romance books at the moment as like a palette cleanser, so I might need to invest in some romance books if you have any recommendations. They don't have to be light emotionally, but like light palette cleanser romance reads that I could add in, because I do like to read a romance intermittently in between fantasies, especially when I'm feeling like a slump like this. Anyway, I picked up Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling and I'm on page... I haven't even finished the first chapter. I'm on page 14 and I have no idea what's going on, but when I get a bit more into it, I will let you know. Reading update. It's been a couple of days since I last updated you, and I have been reading Fear the Flames 30% of the way through this. I'm on page 115. Unfortunately, I am really not enjoying the book. I don't think I will DNF for the sake of the vlog. I think I will continue with the book and finish it, see it through, and give you my final thoughts and feelings when I finish the book. But so far, I'm finding it really clunky. It's not making a ton of sense. The politics of it is not making sense at all. It follows a princess who is also a queen, who's in hiding, that escaped from her kingdom, but is the queen of her own kingdom, but it's a secret and no one knows about it. It's really just not making sense to me. It is very cringy. I find it really cringy. It's more romance than fantasy. I will say so far it is leaning towards romance. The male main character and the female main character hit it off straight away with like flirty banter, that lusty attraction, and I'm not enjoying that. I feel like I like the main male character, but it's reluctant allies. They become allies. Let me just tell you exactly what's going on and the premise of the book. So it follows a princess who, when she was a child, when she was really, really little, she was given this gift of these dragon eggs, and they hatched, and she formed a bond with the dragons, 5 dragons, and they were like hers basically. She was their owner, I guess. Like, they were bonded to her, so they just followed her around, they protected her. When she was 4 years old, her father, the king, was being not very nice to her, and the dragons defended her. So then he decided that he was going to lock her away for years and years and years. When you start the book, she has escaped. Something happened and they did this big elaborate escape, but that hasn't been explained. You don't know how she escaped. All you know is that she escaped with like her uncle and her best friend. The dragons are still at her father's kingdom, locked away somewhere. She hasn't seen them for years. She's now a lot older. She has been chosen by her people in this secret land to be the queen of their land, and it's not making sense because she's this secret queen ruler of this territory, land, place, but they have no food. They're struggling to survive. She's not a queen in the sense of like being royalty and being rich. She doesn't have nice clothes. They don't have food. They're struggling to survive. She's like trying to keep everything going. They chose her to be their queen, but they don't know that she's the long lost princess. So, yeah, I just don't know what the go is there. As well as the secret kingdom, she then makes an alliance with the male main character to work with him to not only perform some sort of heist to get the dragons back and steal them back, but then she's going to be part of his army when they go to war with the kingdom and try and overthrow her father, the king. So she makes an alliance with him, and they're reluctant allies. Not really. Like, they're flirty and very attracted to each other. It's very lust driven. There's not really like an emotional connection, but they're very like hee flirty with each other. What was that? They're very flirty with each other. The dialogue, the banter between them kind of cringes me out a lot. Like, there was this one part where she was going shopping. I don't know if this is a spoiler. I don't really think it's a spoiler, but she was going shopping to purchase clothes, and he's going because he's like her guard and he needs to protect her. She says something like, "The clothes aren't going to attack me." And he goes, "If they do, I'll rip them off your body." Now, I really am not here to yuck anybody's yum. I understand that reading is subjective, and anyone who really, really loves this book, by all means, enjoy it, love it. I'm happy for you. I can't help that I get cringed out by that. That's just my reaction. Anyway, where was I at? She goes to his kingdom to basically set up the heist. Like, she's going to train with him and get established, and then they're going to do the heist and try and steal the dragons. So she goes to their kingdom, wherever he exists. The world building, there is no world building, so I have absolutely no idea what's happening, no idea. She goes with him and is staying in the castle. They've welcomed her in, and they introduce her as the long lost princess and the queen of this secret country. So how is the country a secret if she's being introduced as the queen of it? Like, how does her dad not know? Because surely he would try and come and like get her. Right? I'm just so like, it's not connecting. It's not making sense. How is she a queen? She's supposed to be some poor little long lost princess who's hiding away and doesn't want to be found, but she's doing the complete opposite of that. It's just not mathing. The math is not mathing, and I'm not loving it, but I'm going to keep reading it so that I can give you my final rating. I think if it wasn't for the sake of the vlog and you, you guys, you're welcome, I would probably DNF. And I feel like TikTok has lied to me. I feel duped by TikTok for all the great recommendations I have seen for this book. I will say that it is fast-paced. It is continuously rolling. There's not really like pause periods. That being said, it can be fast-paced and still have good politics and good world building and actually make sense. Am I being harsh? I feel like I'm being a little bit harsh. That's how I feel. That's my honest opinion. Anyway, that is my reading update. I'm going to continue reading it, and I will give you my final thoughts and feelings when I finish it, as well as do a complete wrap up of the books that I have read within this vlog. Time to wrap it all up, bring it all together. Starting off with, I first finished Masters of Death. I believe I rated this 2 stars. It just wasn't for me. I liked the messaging and the concept of death being a huge part of why life is meaningful and why we strive to live the way that we do and have a good life, because at the end of it, inevitably you know that you're going to pass away. So I liked that messaging, but I just didn't really like the story. I found it way too cozy fantasy for me. There was no high stakes, nothing crazy was going on. It was just following the characters on their journey of figuring out why the ghost was haunting the house and figuring out how to get him to move on. A whole bunch of characters are included. I did like the character dynamic. Some of it was quite funny. There is a lightheartedness to the story, but yeah, it just wasn't for me. 2 stars for Masters of Death, and I don't know if I will continue reading Olivia Blake books. She's a very popular author, but I just don't think her writing style is for me. The second book that I read in this reading vlog is Sunrise on the Reaping. What to say about Sunrise on the Reaping? I'm still thinking about this book. I'm still reeling over this book. As you would have seen, the ending absolutely shattered me, and I can't really tell you what it's about because I don't want to give any spoilers away. All you need to know is that it follows Haymitch and his journey through the games and what he goes through to end up as the character that he is in the original Hunger Games trilogy. And Suzanne Collins does not hold back. She does not hold back. It absolutely ripped my heart out. Didn't put it back together. I'm obsessed with the Hunger Games. I love this entire world. I definitely will be rereading this at some point just to have the emotions and the feelings that I get out of reading the Hunger Games. So good. 6 freaking stars. This is a new top tier book for me. I absolutely devoured this and loved it. I feel like I'm in a reading slump now because of it, but so good. I've said it a million times and I will say it again. If you have not read the Hunger Games, what are you doing? Please pick it up. It's so good. And it will just become your entire personality, as my entire personality is now the Hunger Games. 6 stars. End of discussion. Lastly, we have Fear the Flames that I read on my Kindle, and I rated this 1 star. There were so many plot holes. It didn't make sense. The character was inconsistent. She really did not make sense the way she was portrayed. She was supposed to have anxiety, she was having panic attacks, but then she decides to sneak out one night by herself and go looking for a fight. Where's the anxiety? It just doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. I didn't enjoy it. There was a lot of spice and it was at the most random, inappropriate times within the story. Very heavy on the romance, not heavy on the plot whatsoever. I really don't know why this book is so hyped on TikTok, because that is why I picked it up, because it is so hyped on TikTok and I don't understand why, genuinely. 1 star. And I won't be continuing the series. And that is all I have to say about Fear the Flames. I'm glad that's over. That is the 3 books that I finished within this reading vlog, and I had so much fun reading Sunrise on the Reaping specifically. Genuinely on my mind every single day. I have not stopped thinking about it at all since I finished it. New top tier book. I also went and bought the special edition. A girl can't be stopped. I can't be stopped. It's inevitable at this point. That is it from me for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you liked watching me break down and cry. What's new? What's new, really? I will see you guys next time, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye!